Okay, Jason says yes. Amanda says yes. Okay, awesome. Yes. Okay, great. So I see a lot of some of us have experience with this component or with the scoring, which is great. So hopefully some of the responsibilities and what it looks like might is going to look familiar, and if not, then it'll be like a refresher, right? Because it's been a year and sometimes we forget things. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the agenda for the scoring for our time together here looks like this. We're gonna description of math field day and duties for and qualifications for scorers, and then what your day might look like when you arrive at Math Field Day, and then what your day might look like during round one and two of the scoring, and then other notes just that I like to keep in mind as scorers. So the scorer responsibilities. So the scorers are have the big responsibility, right? Because they are responsible for scoring the tasks that the students will be submitting for Math Field Day, right? And so, depending on these scores, depending on the scores we provide, then we will determine who wins the bronze, the silver, and the gold medal. And then sometimes the placements will tie. So there'll be ties for bronze, silver, and gold, and that's okay. Um, uh, but that's why we our responsibility is a big one, and it's important for us to score fairly and just and uniformly across the tasks that we're scoring. And then at the end, the overall team winner will then receive the trophy. And sometimes I think we've had ties for those as well. And so, what are the qualifications to be a scorer? So, you must have a full credential, either in elementary or secondary. So, if you don't have a credential, you are not going to be able to score. And if you are not credentialed, I highly encourage you to then go back to the room, and you'll probably support us with being a general volunteer. And then also having an understanding of what math standards or the content and the standards of math practice, right? So being familiar and understanding what the math content standards are, and then what the standards of mathematical practice are. And those are very important because, as you know, the conceptual and the sense making or slash application rounds are team based. And so there's a lot of math practices that are being implemented during that time. And then have an understanding of how a student may be thinking of the tasks. So sometimes students might answer a task different in a different form than what is on the rubric. And that is okay, right? It's just having an understanding of multiple strategies that can be used to approach a problem. And then, we're all in the library together. So if you ever have a question or need to kind of a thought partner, we are always there with each other to support one another in any questions that we have. And then also having an understanding of the pedagogical delivery of content acquisition. Um, okay. And so, what your day might look like when you arrive at Math Field Day. So, when you arrive on campus, you will be checking in, hopefully, with your district coordinator or your LEA coordinator, making sure that you let them know that you're present. And then they'll have like your badge, your name badge. So, they will be picking up the registration packet. And in that registration packet, they have your name badge, and it should have like your role and where you're supposed to go. And then once you check in with your district coordinator, then the scorers, you will be going to the library. And so at 8 a.m., you're going to be in the library, and you're basically going to be in the library, which is the scoring room for a while, because we're gonna be scoring in there. And I think students finish around 10:15-ish, 10:20, and so um, it'll take some time for us to score all these tasks. Um, you do have access to breakfast. So we provide some breakfast burritos and coffee, and that is actually in the college center. So it's across if it's across the library, but you're more than welcome to walk over there, get yourself some coffee, get yourself a burrito, and then come back. Yes. And you will not need to bring any materials with you. I will be providing everything you need for the scoring. So you don't have to worry about bringing like a pen or anything like that. Okay. So round one. So again, I think Christina mentioned this earlier. Round one is 40 minutes. And the task is worth 80 points. And then the teamwork is worth 20 points. And so during round one, um, this is kind of like where we're calibrating. So this year, since we have 600 students coming to Math Field Day, our scoring teams, our scoring grade level teams are going to be much larger than in the previous year. I believe in the previous year, I had six scorers, 6 to 8 scorers per grade level. This year, I'm anticipating, hopefully, we have about 10 to 12 scorers in each grade level. And so what we do is I hand out the first task to the scorers for your specific grade level, the one that you're going to be scoring, and I allow for you all to work it out by yourself. And then once you're worked it out by yourself, then I prompt you to go ahead and share with your team. Um, how did you work it out? What answers did you get? What was the response for this, and that? And so I allow for you to work it out individually, then share with your team, and then once you've done both of these, then I will then we go ahead and share the rubric, right? And so um the rubric then can help guide your calibration and your point allocation. The rubric will say this many points for part A, this many points for part B. However, I always give the discrepancy to the scorers because they are the ones that are going to be you are going to be the ones scoring the task. And in the past and hopefully this year as well, we've had the task writers in the room. So if you have any clarifying questions about a task, you can always ask them so that they can clarify anything that doesn't make sense. Mm, and then this part is very important. So you have 12 well, my goal is to have about 10 to 12 scorers per grade level. However, there is a lead scorer in that grade level. So usually we ask that one person nominates themselves or is nominated by the team to be the lead scorer. So if there are any like discrepancies that come with the scoring um, or if anything comes up, then I kind of communicate with that lead scorer and they will let me know what's going on and so forth. So that's kind of like my point of communication for that specific grade level. Um, what else do I want to say? Hmm. Okay. I think that's it for during the part one. Again, so you are responsible for scoring round one and round two. So once you're done with round one, you've completed the task, you've shared with your team, you've looked at the rubric, you've calibrated. Then we go ahead and do the same thing, but for the second round, for the second task. And so the scoring room lead will distribute the task one for you to begin with. Well, I think I got ahead of myself. So you're gonna do the same, you're gonna score, calibrate for task one, and then you're gonna do the same thing for task two. Mm, yes, yes. Yes, I already went over all this. And so something I did want to do a quick practice with you all. And I can drop these in the chat. But if you click on it, you should be able to open it. Let me, I wanted to practice with grade 6. Can you all see the link in the chat? Yeah? Okay, awesome. So if you can go ahead and open that, that's the sixth grade task from last year. And I'd like to give you an opportunity to complete number one individually. And this is the application task. So if you can just do problem number one, and I'll do maybe like, let's do till 40, let's do 3 minutes. So let's come back at 4:06. And then we'll share our responses together, and then we'll look at the rubric and reflect on how we would score specific responses for this. Um, so go for it. Take about 3 minutes, and then we'll come back and just work on number one because I know I don't want you to do the whole task. Just number one is okay. All right, so it is 4:06. So hopefully you all were able to do number one for the sixth grade task from last year. I'm going to go ahead and drop the rubric link on the chat. And you should be able to open that. Take a look at what the rubric says here for number one. And I'll open it on my side as well. And then let's take a look at these sample responses for number one. And these are from different student groups. So the first sample response is each ticket to the zoo cost $48.75. Um, what score would you give that specific response? And you can put it in the chat or you can come off mute.
They only said the answer,
Yes.
48.75. No explanation.
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's not full credit.
I agree, Van. Thank you.
I know that
Uh,
much. It's, yeah.
so there's
It's,
there's no explanation. Thank you. So what point do you how much do you think you would allocate here for this response? Some credit, yes, either the 0.25 or 0.5. Yes, so in this case we gave a half a point. So we gave the zero point 0.5. And we took off half a point because there was no explanation. And a lot of the times scorers will ask me, is it okay to do partial credit, right? And so what we're doing is we're being we're okay with partial credit, but in half points. So like the quarter of a point, we're not allocating. So quarter of points. So it's either half a point or the full point. And so for this one, we gave the half point for the correct response, but
I
then
have a
we took
question.
off half a point for the for no for the lack of work
Christy, I have a question.
or
We're
justification.
listening.
Yes, is
Um,
this Christy?
yes, sorry, this is
Hi,
Christy.
Christy.
So
Yes.
my question would be if they're actually showing like numbers. So if they did the division part of it and said four into 105 and that's, is that still half a point? Or I'm a little, I don't know, I guess I'm confused because if it's saying explaining, say using numbers, do you want them to
Yes.
show division or like, how do you, is that okay? Because I would
Yes.
have given them full points if I would have seen that they had showed. Hi, girl. Hi, thank you.
Yes,
Thanks a lot.
Christy.
Thank you.
Ooh, okay. Yes, Christy. I'm catching some of the background noise there, but yes, if there was work, like if you see the work that connects to their response on their paper, then that'll be the full credit. I agree. Because like you said, we are asking them to explain using numbers, words, visuals. And so if you see the work, that's why it's so important for students to show their work on these tasks, right? And then we have additional scratch paper if they need it to attach it and staple it to their task. But yes, if you see that there's a division and it's evident that that division connects to their response, then yes, I would give them the full credit. Yes, Amanda.
So just to clarify, let's say like on the answer sheet, their sample response was just that sentence from number one, but there's no other work to confirm how they got the 48.75 that would warrant like a point 0.5 out of one.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, got
Thank
it.
you. Yes. Let's take a look at number two, the sample response number two. Since four tickets cost 195, each ticket to the zoo cost 48.75. What do you what score would you give that sample response? Yes. Yes, that is still a point 0.5. That is still half a point, right? Because there was no there's no mathematical reasoning or evidence. I guess the student acknowledged there was that four tickets cost 195. However, there was no other work to back that up. And then for that, the last response, number three, since four tickets cost I mean 195, each ticket to the zoo cost 48.75 because 195 divided by four equals to 48.75 per ticket. And so that one would be your full credit, your 1 point response there.
No. I have a question regarding the wording of some of this.
Yes,
So these are saying things such as explain using models, numbers, and words.
yes.
So these answers, they're only using words. They're not using models. Well, they are using numbers as well.
Yes.
But would they still get the full credit even though they're not using models, or would they have to use all three models, numbers, and words? Because in the
No,
previous time when I scored, the way that we had it is that if it asks for all three, they had to have all three to get the points.
no, yes, I totally understand. That is a great question. So students do not have to use all three. as long as they could choose to use either or, as long as their response is backed up by the evidence in their work. So if a student chooses to use just words, then that's okay. If a student uses to, but I mean, for some of these, you have to use the numbers and the
Right,
words
right.
and the and the operation. So there has to be the work there, and sometimes it will require a model, and sometimes it will not, right? So yes, great question, Sean.
It's as long as they have the correct answer and sufficient evidence.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
I have a question about scaling the points. That
Yes.
is, if this question was a 2-point question, then the student wrote answer number two, then would it be 1 out of 2?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's a great question as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right. And so that was like a little quick mini practice that we had with the one problem there. What time is it? Because we have to come back in a few minutes. So round two, again, 40 minutes. Task is 80 points. Teamwork is worth 20 points. The whole round is 100 points. And so during round two, part one, so we asked that at least two scoring volunteers work on the same paper or on the same task for a student. Now there were some questions about, oh, I am an eighth grade scorer, but I'm bringing in an eighth grade team. We ask that you avoid scoring your team, and there will be lots of tasks for you to choose from. Just we ask that you just do not score your student tasks, and so that we have a fair scoring there. And again, there is fractional scoring. Half a points are allowed to be given. If there are any discrepancies in the scoring, which we have seen in the past, then that's why we want the scoring lead. We have one scoring lead in the group to make the final decision as to what they think that should be. And then once have completed scoring the task, the lead scorer must submit those tasks to me, and I will then go ahead and take them to our data entry team, who is in charge of, I guess, allocating all, or I guess just inputting points and making sure that we can get that data that we need for the trophies and the medals. Yes, again, each task should be scored by at least two people, and we do ask that you initial the task or you sign the task that you scored. And then in the event of a tie, again, the lead scoring judge is your group, and your group will break the tie. The tasks are progressive in nature, so they kind of build on one another. I mean, build on each other's parts, right? They're broken down by parts, usually 4 parts. Um, However, if the student gets the first part of the problem incorrect, there is still room to receive points for the other parts of the problem if they are consistent with the math, if it makes sense. Um, and usually part one is worth 1 point, part two, two, three, three, and four, four. That's kind of like the way that we've organized the task in the past. And sometimes it's a little different, but it's rare. But we're gonna be there so that if you do come across something, you feel more than welcome to ask questions. And then like I mentioned earlier, the task writers will be in the room, so they will be supporting us with any clarifications that you all have. Um, I see a message on the chat. It says, if do we have a team number information and room number ahead of time, or will it be in the? Yes, 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 Marcia. I have shared the student team numbers and room assignments. I will be sharing that again this week. So just keep an eye out for that. And then I see a message from Miss Amador. Miss Amador, please email Christina Lincoln Moore. I will give you the email here. because she is the one that's in charge of the volunteer assignments. And so that way she can help you with that. Awesome. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so notes to keep in mind. So round one is generally the scoring team's time to acclimate to the task and to calibrate what they're thinking and how they will be scoring the task together. During round two is where the real scoring takes place. That's when you start scoring, and they'll the task will come in, and then it'll happen faster than you think. Um, Last year, I think everyone finished we finished around 12. Everyone finished around 11:30. There was like a team there that was a little bit, I think, took a little longer, but the goal is to finish scoring by 12, which is by when the closing ceremony starts. And again, just be patient with each other and use the task writers. That's why I have asked them to be there with us. And don't be afraid to ask questions. And again, you are all very valued, a very valued team. You are making the final call. LACO will not intervene unless necessary, but it is your decision because you are all the scoring team. If there are any issues, then there's this protocol that we try to follow. What is the issue? What are the possible solutions? And then what is the final decision of the team? I did create a score packet. It should be here in this link. I will share that with you all in the chat. And it has the instructions for the day of. I will print this out for you so you don't have to worry about printing it. But I wanted to share it with you all just in case you all wanted to look at it again. But know that these are the number of teams in each grade level. There we have 21 fourth grade teams, 22 fifth grade teams, 25 sixth grade teams, 24 seventh grade teams, 25 eighth grade teams, 12 ninth, 13 tenth, and 9 11th. And then in the last page, there are some general guidelines to keep in mind while scoring. One that I really value and appreciate is one that I used to practice. I used to score for my for a calc lecture hall back when I was in in my graduate program. And it was like 300 plus students on a calc midterm. And so what we would do is we all would take a problem. I would take like problem five, and then that would be my problem to grade problem five. And it just makes your grading a lot more consistent, if that makes sense, right? Because that's what you're grading problem five. Um, and your final thoughts. So once you complete all the task assignment, like all the scoring, just we ask that we help clean up. We are on the St. Gabriel High School campus, and they have graciously welcomed us back. And so we just tidy up there, and then we can go ahead and head out either to the Mathcella or the STEM Festival if there is time for that. And then just help escort students and yourself into the auditorium where the award ceremony will happen. And parents will be able to watch the award ceremony. However, they'll be watching from the gym because last year, if you were there, it was very full and there was no way we were going to fit all parents into that room. So we decided to simulcast the ceremony for them into the gym so that they are able to watch it sitting down in a more comfortable space. And again, the overall scores for both tasks together is 200 points. And thank you.
Uh,
Any questions? Yes.
think we should come back together.
Oh, Christina, yes, literally, we just finished. We're going back.
Okay,
Okay.
awesome.
All right. Thank you, everyone. All right. So it looks like we have about 20 more seconds for everyone to join here. We'll get started in a few seconds. Christina, has Lena joined us back too, or?
She should.
Okay.
Oh, here they come.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Welcome back, everyone. We hope that that training or that those breakout rooms were useful for you. We like to close out with some tips for success. And here are a few tips for success. So making sure that you communicate with your coordinator, that is super important because they are the ones that are going to have all your materials, your name tags, everything that you will need, right? So it is important to coordinate to make sure that you're in communication with your district or LEA coordinator. Joining our group meets, those are also very helpful to kind of keep in touch with each other, ask questions of one another, asking questions when you need to ask questions. Don't be afraid, and then also make sure that you have fun because that's what Math Field Day is all about. Does anyone else have any tips for success? Anybody who's done this a few times already or a couple times?
Green, Jessica, I do have a question. I see Diana's tip about identifying which students are A, B, C, and D. I really like that. I think that's going to help. My fear was that we weren't standardized, but we had agreed that we would split the team so we would be able to better observe and score each of the teams. And I think that's a great suggestion as well, labeling certain seats A, B, C, D, so that we know we're scoring the same students.
Oh, I love that idea. So, making
Mhm.
sure that your seats have A, B, C, D so that you know. I like that. For the proctors, right? For the proctors. Yes. Thank you so much, Tao, for sharing. And then I see some questions on the chat. Can you send a sample text through GroupMe before the event? Yes.
I did it just
Okay.
now.
Thank you, Christina. And then what if the GroupMe does not work on your phone? I'm not sure, Christy. Email
Oh.
us so that we can help with that. Or do you know,
Oh,
Christina?
maybe there's, is it a, oh, I wonder if it's an Android versus Apple thing.
Hmm.
Um,
I have an Android, so it probably is.
Oh, it probably is.
did you try was it the QR code or did you put in the site code? Because
I did the QR code if you guys had it.
so it might be it might be you need to plug in can we go back to that slide?
Yes.
Let me see. Because there's a,
I could have just escaped. There it is. Is it this one?
you're
Or are
not
you,
sharing.
or I thought I was sharing. I'm sorry. I'm like, is it that one?
Yeah, that should be
Oh,
it.
well, they can't click on the, are we sharing the slides with them?
Yes.
So if we put, because those should be live links. So let me see. Let me go through. And
Okay. Awesome. He says it's working now.
oh, it's working? Okay. Good.
Okay, cool. Oh, he says for me it is.
Yeah, it looks like someone had to sign out and log in with their number.
Uh,
I'm gonna let me go to that slide and put the links in the chat just to make
and
sure.
and we can also send out a follow-up email with all the links to make sure.
Oh, it's in your communiques
Yes.
also.
Yes, to make sure that you get it, and we'll send a like a follow-up email after our training today with the recordings and all of that. But it
Perfect. Thank
sounds,
you.
yes, yes, thank you, Christy. It sounds like it's working for some, so
Oh.
it's just figuring it out. Okay. Well, with that, Christina or Lena, did you want to share any other tips for success?
Well, as I spoke with the general volunteers that we are trying something new, did you all discuss that at all?
No.
Okay. So we really need you to help communicate this to your parents so that it'll go over well. As you know, we have over 600 students, which means basically over 800 students, and teachers will be here. So we're going to have for the closing ceremony students and teachers in the auditorium. And the closing ceremony will be simulcast in another space at the high school, which most likely will be the gymnasium where we had Mathcella last year. That way, if we have the two spaces, there will be enough seating because the auditorium can seat, 600 plus people. All the parents will go there, students and teachers in the auditorium, and there'll be big screens where they can see it all. Also, and I know parents like to take pictures of their students, their children, once they've gotten their awards. There'll be 3 photo walls so that they can take those opportunities to take pictures after that. But this was the best way that we could use the space. We looked for other venues, but they were $40,000 to $35,000, and we don't have that. So we're trying to use the space as best we can. So please help communicate that to the parents to let them know closing ceremony, they will be in a different space, and that teachers and students will be in the auditorium.
Yes.
So we're hoping this will go well. We're really trying to because a lot of feedback was you need a bigger space, and we tried, but so this way we're trying to make the best of the situation.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Christina. I actually did share. I forgot that I had shared, but I did share with the scorers. And again, it's to support safety. The priority is the safety of students and staff. So we can't. Last year, it was just not. It was very very busy in the auditorium. So
Yes, and we're grateful that we're growing. But
yes, thank you. And with that, it is 4:31, so we appreciate you. Wait, what's going on? I have a bunch of nice, cute coats here. Yes. Uh, Alone we cannot do this. We can do so little. Together we can do so much. So thank you all so much. If you have any other questions, please feel free to email us. We appreciate you and we are grateful for your willingness to volunteer to make Math Field Day a success for you and your students and your families. Thank you and have a great afternoon.
Uh, Thank you. Can you please show us the QR code one more time, please?
Yes, the group me
Thank
one.
you so much. Yeah,
Yes,
thank you
yes,
so much for all the information. I will.
yes.
Jess, there's in the chat, there's a question about students and scorers about finishing the test.
If the students bring their own lunch and snacks to eat after the test is finished,
Yes.
do we just, well, if all the teachers that bring the kids are scorers, we would be out after they're out. So would we just find a table to just leave their stuff so that way they can go back and get it? Or is there a certain place that we should be taking their stuff?
Yes,
so
that sounds like a plan, Sean. The finding
yeah,
an area for you, for your students.
finding an area, and that you need at least one person to stay with the table.
Yes.
And then the students at break time will just come get things, and then during math field day, Mathcella STEM fair, they'll also go to your table to eat as well.
Yes.
Hmm.
If all the teachers that come with the kids are grading, though, I don't know if someone could.
Well, it's the scorers that will be grading. The proctors will be released, and then because the proctors will do a little bit to make sure they're going to be grading the team, and then they'll be released. So you have your parents and the proctors that are during the mathcella that time. The score will be-
Okay.
Okay.
Is that okay?
I you got cut off, Sean. I did not.
Well, no, that was it. It's just
Oh, okay. Okay.
most of the teachers, I'd have to double check. I'm pretty sure all of us are scorers, so I just need to double check to make sure.
If you are all
Oh,
scorers, maybe Christina can switch one of you up
ah,
to so that they can have at least one adult. Students,
okay.
yeah, the students need an adult with them at least.
What school? What school
West Covina
district?
Unified School District. I'll double check because I think there might be
West
some
Cook.
coming from the high school. I didn't check for those.
No, we all got
Okay.
I'm from the same district. We all got assigned scores.
As scores?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I need to make at least two proctors. And you'll have some parents, right? Because parents can be manning it. I don't like to say manning, facilitating a table. Also, make two proctors. West Covina.
Can
Okay.
the kids not bring like just a small bag to bring their snacks themselves?
Oh, yes, definitely. They can bring their
Okay.
own lunches,
Okay,
but
so they can take that with them, right?
yeah, not into the rooms.
Can they take it and just put it in a corner somewhere?
Oh, you know what? Is that what we've done? I'm not the
I feel like that's
proctors.
what we had them do the other
Is that
year.
what they did before? Jess, do you know? I haven't been the
Would that still
proctors.
be okay? Because then they, if they need their water, if they need, they could just.
It seems like that would be fine to put it somewhere in the room. How have we
Yeah.
done it in the past, Jess? I'm
I've never proctored. Lena,
neither.
do you recall any of?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember when I did proctor. I don't remember kids bringing in food.
Because I think we say they can't, and then they
Yeah,
come
because it's
down.
always been food needs to be outside.
Yeah.
Uh,
Can they
so
like
I'm
leave
just
it in
thinking
a corner
if
somewhere, like near where they're
but could
testing, or
but if the proc but if you move some of the scores over to proctors, I mean, if the proctors have all the lunches, I don't know,